Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use purescript-wags in GitHub Codespaces. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is open a GitHub Codespace for this repo, github.com/mikesol/wagsi. You could also fork it if you so choose. So here, new Codespace, I'm going to type wagsy, mikesol wagsy, create Codespace. Great. So now we have a README that has all the instructions we need in order to get started. We just did this step, which is creating a new code space for the repo. And now what we're going to do is run Npm Install. So we see a second terminal has been open here, but we're going to flip back to the original terminal and just run Npm Install. This will take a while, so I'll come back to the video once it's done so you don't have to watch 5 minutes of command line output. Great, so npm install is now done, and the next step is going to be npm run IDE Codespaces. This is going to install VS Code IDE PureScript so that we have syntax highlighting, and also it's a fork of that repository that does some tweaking necessary to get the web audio working. So the next step is to exit and re-enter from this code space for the IDE extension to take effect. So let's do that. I will just actually navigate back to Codespaces. That's fine. And dip back into it. Great, so the IDE server should now be initialized. We can check that by clicking on Output, IDE PureScript, and seeing how it is kicking in. Great, right? Looks like it's working. And it'll be parsing all of these and doing syntax highlighting for all of these files. Okay, so let's go to the README. The next thing we're going to do is go to the ports tab. Actually, I should delete this Control-Shift-P because we don't need it. There you go. We're going to go to the ports tab and add a new port. So here's the ports tab. We'll add a new port, 8080, which is what Webpack is going to use. So enter, and then we'll make it public so that we can access it. And we're going to copy this local address to package.json Codespaces public URL. Let's put that right here. All right, so back to the README. Now that we've done that, we're going to do npm run start Codespaces. So it's going to send us to the exact URL that we just opened up. Compiled successfully. So great. It looks like it's loading. So the next step will be navigating to that same page, which we just did, and clicking on Start Audio. So let's click on Start Audio and we'll click Allow. Great. Now back in the online editor, which is where we are here, let's open up wag.pers and start making some noise. So the first thing we can do is just copy this as it suggests and see what happens. All right, so we got a little sine wave oscillator going. Let's maybe make it a little bit louder. Great. All right, let's add, let's say 3 more of these. So it's going to fail because this is a type-safe language, and unit 0 is already defined in here. And also there's other constraints on this type as well, which is kind of nice. So what I will do is change the definitions of all of these units and oscillators. But before I do that, let me also change the pitches because we're going to want to be a little bit different. Let's make something with kind of exotic tuning. And there you go. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are good to get some really subtle phase shift going in there. 1.02 and 0.99, let's say. All right, we can start hearing the texture pulling apart a little bit. It's kind of fun. All right. So there you go. We have browser-based music completely in the browser. We have a page that's doing the rendering and another page where we're doing the live coding for our little synthesizer. And then afterwards we can add attacks, delays, looped buffers, reverb, free filters, wave shapers, whatever we'd like. So thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you get a chance to try out a purely browser-based version of purescript-wags. I'm really excited that this finally exists after a lot of work to get here. Special thanks to the entire PureScript community, and especially to Nicholas for developing the IDE extension that makes this all possible. So I'm really excited to see what music you make with it in the browser. I'm hoping that people find creative ways to share it with their friends, because theoretically anybody with a little bit of elbow grease can open one of these up. And take care.